Hi, I'm Dee Dee.
And I'm Brittany.
And we would like to welcome you to The Block.
We're back with another story for you guys. We hope you enjoyed the last story, but now we have a brand new episode. We have a special guest here who would like to tell her story with her traumatic experience of what's going on the block.
So what we want you guys to do is grab your water, soda, wine, whatever it is that you drink, pull up to the block with us and enjoy the story. The show, might I say.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am. I'm ready to hear it.
Okay, should we get our wine first? Because...
yeah, let's go ahead. Our choice of drink is wine today.
It's black rose. No, black Stella Rose, which is my favorite. So, Didi, what's your favorite wine?
Y'all don't think she's trying to be funny.
Okay. Can you tell that story?
Well, I don't drink, guys. I don't drink wine, soda, liquor.
She don't drink today.
But the story is, I don't drink. This is wine. But because of my friend, sister, I'm going to take some baby sips.
We can sip right now, Didi.
Okay.
Do you like it?
No.
But it tastes like syrup.
I don't, medicine.
Night clear. Okay. Well, you can sip. You can sip. Do little baby sips. Goo goo gaga. Okay.
Okay. We have our third glass for our guests.
Do you want some wine?
Sure.
You want a little bit or you want a lot of it?
I'll take a little bit. Well, as you guys know, on this show, we allow people to come on to talk about the life experiences that they have went through and overcame and where they are now.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Mary Bowman. I'm 37, a mother of 6, and I'm here to talk about me losing my husband at a young age.
I'm so sorry to hear that you had to experience that. And just before we get into the loss or experience or the tragedy that you have, or that have impacted your life, we want to, of course, outline the story of how you guys met.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Of course, now, like a lot of people nowadays, social media play a big part in relationships. So Facebook was our meet and greet. I never seen him a day in my life. He just kind of like dropped off in my inbox and it went from there.
Both of y'all from here?
Yes.
Okay. So who went down in the DM? Was it you or him?
No, he definitely went down in the DM. I wasn't looking for anybody at the time.
Okay.
Like I was in a space where I just was like, okay, I'm gonna just stay focused. I'm gonna work and take care of it because I had 3 kids prior to that relationship. So just trying to stay focused at the time. Excuse me. So, and then it's just like out the blue.
Would you like to walk us down the timeline of up until that point you guys met, all the way up into, during, in between, and what actually led to that part of your life?
You talking like basically before meeting him or after?
No, once you met.
Okay.
Once you met.
Like how long after meeting you guys, do you have children with him? I know you said you had.
Yes, I have my 3 smaller kids with him. After the inbox conversations, it went for maybe I'm not gonna lie, maybe 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we met and it was like we was kind of like inseparable. It was something I never experienced before. So it was just like something that I wanted.
So like love at first sight? You believe in love at first sight?
Kinda. But it was, I guess you could say that.
Because it sounds like what it was.
So
I don't know. I just had never met someone of that stature.
So when you say of that stature, what was it about him that grabbed you? Like, hey, this is my guy.
His mannerism, his like the respect he had for me, the love he shared for my older kids. He took them in like they were his. It was just, I don't know, we just couldn't at that time like get enough of each other. So it was kind of like
he was what you needed.
most definitely at the time. And I I had took some time off, like I said before him, just praying and asking God, telling God I was ready for something like that, and then it just kind of like showed up.
It ain't show up. You prayed for him and God answered your prayers.
It showed up because I ain't gonna lie, we moved kind of quick. So I, at one time I told God like, hey, look, I lied, I wasn't ready. So, but it was all in the making.
So when you say kind of quick, what do you mean? Like,
so we met in June, moved in August. Got married in January.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like we went boom, boom, boom. But
And then the babies or the marriage.
well, I I was pregnant with my son, and then we ended up getting married while I was pregnant with my son. Yeah. And then I had my two daughters. Actually, they were back to back. 2016, 15, 16, and 17. Okay. So yeah.
okay.
Okay, so tell us about that day, or if it was something that led up to that day to get to that point.
Well, my husband, he had a sickle cell disease. Now, at the time, I never knew that he had the full disease. He mentioned to me when we first met that he had the trait, so I wasn't educated on sickle cell at all. So it was kind of like new to me.
Yeah.
Once we met, the back and forth hospital visits to where we got to a point where we changed our diets and it kind of like turned around. He ended up getting a job as a merchant seaman, going out, and he was doing fine. So I just felt like he kind of kicked it because, like I said, I still really didn't like fully educate myself on it because once again, I'm thinking he had the trait, not the disease.
Could you educate us on what is the trait? Because I don't know. I can speak for Dee Dee, but I don't know anything about.
Okay, it's
sickle cell.
Sickle cell is like it's a blood cell disease where I think the white cells, if I'm wrong, excuse me, but take over or you don't have enough or something like that because it's been a minute. But yeah, so he had dealt with this since he was a child. Later that I found out. So yeah.
So you didn't find out when y'all met?
He just told me he had the trait.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was never like, I didn't feel like it was a big deal because he explained to me like you can live, with having a trait.
Okay.
You didn't know that it was that severe.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Okay. So when did you realize at what milestone or how bad did it get till you realize that, okay, this is bad?
I never knew he had the disease until he passed.
So go back to what you said when you found out and he got sick.
Well, he would just, I'm thinking it was just, he would have like real bad pains or we'll have to go into the hospital and he have to get treated and then he go home. So once I looked it up, it would tell you like certain stuff he was supposed to eat and not eat. So we would just take that out of our diet so it would get better.
Okay.
He did get better, like to where he wasn't going in the hospital at all. The sickle cell was actually undetected because he couldn't have it to go on the ship to be a merchant seaman. So
test
right,
everything.
so yep, he did his physical and he passed it. So it was kind of like, okay, we good.
Okay.
So it was just, at that time I'm thinking like, it wasn't bothering him anymore. He didn't have any flares, no hospital visits, no anything.
Do you think that he knew and he didn't want to worry you or tell you or worry the kids or anything like that?
Well, she said he told her.
Yeah, well, he didn't tell me he had the disease. He told me he had the trait, but he definitely knew he had the disease, right? Because this is something he's been dealing with since he was a child.
Yeah.
So
I know in most cases, the couple, or it could be a grandparent or a family member, they protect their loved ones and don't tell them anything at all.
Right.
So that's why I asked the question, because sometimes they don't want to worry people who they have to leave behind.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. I get it, but I know that's also mentally challenging.
I felt that way. Like after everything, like I felt that way.
Okay. So back to that day, did you receive a call? Did you?
Oh no, I was so we got up. It was I want to say a Monday. We got up and everything was fine. He actually got up first. He was up early, and just like handling some business on the phone. Went out, washed the car, like just doing normal everyday activities or whatever around the house. I had a dentist appointment with my son, and I couldn't get an appointment for my son nowhere, like for months. And it was kind of weird to me. And like I say, now that I look back, I can see like a lot of things leading up to it, but not like where I knew he was sick or not feeling well. He used to keep my son's information, his social, his birth certificates. He'd be like, oh, if we break up, I'm taking him with me. Like that. But this day, like, he brought me out his stuff. He was like, here, you might need this. And I was like, I don't need this for, a dental appointment.
Yeah.
It's just, but he gave it to me. So I took him. And we text once I got there, because he was like, oh, did you make it? It was raining really bad that day. And, we made it, ended up coming back home, but when I got back home, I never went in the room. And I had, at that time, I was doing hair. I was doing a friend of mine's hair, and I sat up there and did her hair for maybe like 2 hours, probably, or more. So the kids, they were running around, and it kind of crossed my mind. I was like, dang, like, he been asleep, and I know he hear them, I know he's not this tired, but it never, crossed my mind.
Yeah.
So when she left, I went in the back, and I went to put his leg up on the bed, because he was like on the bed asleep, but his leg was like drifting off. And I was like, hey, what we gonna eat for dinner? And like when I moved his leg, his head just kind of like went to the side, and it was like some fluid just like slightly came out his mouth. And I was like looking, and because his phone was on the floor, and I picked it up, and I was like, well, Martin, because that was his name, Martin. So I was like, Martin, and I'm calling him, and I kind of like panicked. So now I'm like grabbing him, like shaking him, my oldest son. I called him in the room. I had him call the rescue, and then we end up picking him up, putting him on the floor, and I'm trying to do CPR while I'm like hysterical, crying, asking the rescue like what's going on. One of my neighbors at the time, they came over, and he told me, he was like, let me help. So he tried to do CPR, but I kind of figured he was gone. I feel like, when the rescue got there, they kind of did everything because the kids was in there. Because we all was like, at this time, I'm like, all right, let's get in a circle. We need to pray because, I believe in God. So I'm like, I know God can do something about it or whatever. But they took him or whatever. And I think somebody came and got the kids, and I went to the hospital, but they said that he had passed away. So, yeah.
So when did the kids find out?
So the kids had already, so my younger two daughters, they had already knew. Would
you like us to get you a napkin?
They found him.
If it's tough, you don't have to.
No, it's fine. They had already found him. Because, like I said, his phone was on the floor. Like, he didn't play about his stuff, his phone or whatever. And I didn't find out till after I went back to where they were. And they was telling me they was trying to call the rescue because he wasn't responding. And now, it was just like they had already been back there trying to help him. And neither one of them came and said anything to me. They just kind of like let me go back there, knowing. Because I remember walking back to the room, they was behind me. But they was, I guess, just trying to see for themselves or
Probably
whatever.
scared too.
Yeah. So, but they, I talked to them about it. One of my son, he was like, it was the hot chips. I seen him eating hot chips, so it was like they was trying to become little investigators,
Yes.
like just trying to figure out what happened.
Yes.
And then at the same time not understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Did you have to give them any type of therapy or in-school therapy or?
We did therapy, and then we did therapy with our church at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm so sorry. I couldn't imagine waking up, finding my husband or any. I'm just lost for words.
How are the children now?
It's like a back and forth thing. My daughter, they were doing good at one time until another tragedy happened. So then they're back to their little minds just going and going, because it's like, okay, they kind of just getting to where they can understand one, and then now something else happens. So it's kind of like, I feel like I'm going to have to put them, I know I'm going to have to put them back in counseling.
Was it somebody? Was it somebody related to them or you?
Yeah, my younger brother.
Yeah. But did you care to elaborate on that?
I can. Now this is a bit more touchy because it's recent. This was August the 10th. My brother was coming out his house, going to work. Hardworking guy. He wasn't in the streets. We still don't have a clue, why. But somebody, I guess, waited for him to come out, and they shot him in the back or from behind, and we lost him in that way. But it was like, once my husband passed or whatever, my brothers, they stepped up. And then he was like, me and him was like really close, like that was my best friend. So it was kind of just for them, it was like, okay, like what's going on now? Like,
right.
And then me trying to still let them know, like, we still believe in God.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard
Yes.
for a child to be like, okay, so why is all this happening if we supposed to, have this belief system? So it's a journey.
What was it, back to back? Did you have
My husband was 3 years ago.
Okay.
2020. Yeah.
Okay.
And then my brother, August of 23.
But even after all that, no time apart could, separate the trauma that you felt both times.
Mary, can you tell us and the people how you and the children going to counseling at the church? Well, first, how did it help you? And then how did it help your children?
Okay. Counseling, just talking about it helped me a lot, because keeping everything bottled up wouldn't help. It's so much running through your mind, so much on your mind. I know for the first year, I kind of just ran off of normality, just like my normal day-to-day runs, like nothing out of me, what I normally knew what to do, like just taking the kids to school. I wasn't processing days like I should have, because I'm still trying to hold it together for them. So once I was able to get with the pastor or whoever I was talking to at that time, I can just release myself there and be comfortable with it. They have the right words to say at the time. My biggest thing was with the pastor, because you go to the Bible and you like the Bible say to death do us part, but what about the person that's left behind? Nobody ever talks about that person. So that was a big question for me, because it was like, where am I going from here? Like, I remember questioning God, like, why would you give me these kids and you knew he wasn't going to be here? I mean, I had already had 3 kids, and then to add 3 more, it was kind of like, what am I going to do? But I had I still have like a great support system, my friends, family and stuff like that. So the counseling along with the support system from my friends was a lot of what I needed. The kids, the more they talked about it, it kind of, released.
Yeah.
My son, he was so angry. Anybody can just mention his dad's name and he's like ready to blow up. I remember at the funeral service where my son, him and his dad was close. He went up to the casket and just like, touched him. And I asked him, why are you doing that? He said, I wanna feel him while he's gone. I don't believe it. Like, he told me that, and I told him, I said, it does. It feels so surreal, but how am I explaining this to, at the time, a 6-year-old? Because here I am, 30-something, and I can't believe it. So it was kind of hard, but the more they went and talked to the leaders of the church, the mother of the church, she would come to the house and counsel with them and talk to them. So it was just... how they say it take a village, it did, and it helped them so much, and I appreciate it, and I was definitely thankful for that, because I didn't really know which way to go with their questions, because it was like me reliving it, because I have to. So by them being able to talk with someone else helped us all. So I just feel like talking about it and getting it out your system, releasing it, that's the best way to, kind of like clear your mind space. I remember my pastor told me one time, he said, have your moment and then move on, because you don't want to go into a depression and then focus on the good times, not, the ending or what happened, but the times y'all had before now. So, yeah.
So how are you now?
So with my husband's situation, with time, it just becomes normal. I'm not gonna say it heals, because it don't. It's just something normal now. And then like now with my brother, I'm on it's a whole nother feeling, a whole nother level of hurt. It's more so confused.
Do you think because your husband died of natural causes and your brother got killed, that is a difference?
No, I think it's the relationship.
Okay.
Because even when my husband passed, like, I remember me crying for his family, because, his mom, that's her son, his sisters, his brothers, like, right. And at the time, like, I didn't know what it felt like to lose a sibling. So now, me in those shoes is like mind blowing. Like, even with when my husband passed, I'm so used to being that person, always there for everybody. That person. And then I just said, like, people was calling me, and I'm like, I can't believe it's me. Like, they saying, my condolence, like, not me. Like, so all that had to, like, just resonate in my mind, because I wasn't, like, none of it was okay for me. So now my brother is, like, I don't wish it on nobody. Like, I can't believe it's like out of mind, out of body feeling to see that somebody you growed up with is gone. You'll never see this person again. Like, I seen and talk to my brother every day. Like, not a day, that was my everything. So it's like, sometimes I choose not to believe it. So I'm still coping with that. I haven't seen anybody as in counseling for that situation yet, and I'm just choosing not to, because at times I just choose not to be okay with it.
You just choose not to deal with it.
I choose not to accept it. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, for anybody out there, if you have experienced a tragedy or lost someone or anything such as Mary, I do want to inform you that there are support groups out there, there are churches out there are people out there to help you. There are events that's happening right on social media. All you have to do is speak up. All you have to do is just release whatever's paining you, keeping you up at night. Just reach out to somebody, because it's real. Pain is real. Dealing with it is real. Living after a tragedy is real, and sometimes you need outlets. So I just wanted to inform you guys that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to someone. They have virtual counseling. I know some corporate jobs have free counseling with your insurance. It's just a step. You got to take that step to get help. Help is out there. Help is needed. We all need each other, and I just want to encourage somebody to, if you need help, seek it. Well, Mary, we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We also want to point out the courage to even come, your strength of what you're dealing with, the strength of being who you are to your children, who you are to your family, even your church family. And we want to give you your flowers for having the courage, to deal with such a traumatic experience and be able to still get up and still walk and still tell your story and be able to live. So we have something from you.
Thank you.
And you are an awesome mother. Thank you for coming.
So nice. And you need a hug, so I'm gonna hug you a little bit longer. How do you feel? I know after hearing that story, my heart was beating fast, like jumping out my chest. Like I ain't know to cry, to hug her, to like. I just don't know, but I want to know how you feel because I couldn't keep my composure.
It was very touching because I am a wife, and just the thought of my husband leaving, it was very touchy for me. And I mean, she's brave to come on and share her story with us, the viewers, and I can't even explain the way that it made me feel. It was just touchy.
Yeah, and I don't think I would have had the courage to do it because that's a lot. Losing your husband, losing your brother, like that's family. Even though that was her husband, now her husband's still her family. They still had a life together. They have kids together. So
Absolutely.
that has to be horrific. Diddy, have you had too much wine? Are you ready for the next episode?
I am. But are you guys ready to pull up on us on the block?